Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2020, the album Dad AF. Beauty school dropout. You're the one that I want. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is the summer of Grease over here on the Peter Monn channel. I have been listening obsessively to the 70s on 7 and the 80s on 8 in my car on Sirius Radio. I'm like listening to all of this, the old tunes that I used to listen to when I was growing up. Yesterday it was like Fear the Reaper from the Blue Oyster Cult Band. Listen, I've been going, Melissa Manchester, Sheena Easton. I've been listening. Back in the day, I used to ride in the backseat of my mom's car with my tennis racket, and I acted like it was, what do you call it, a microphone. Ha! My baby takes the morning train. He works from 9 to 5. My mother, she knew back in the day. She's like, my son's going to be a famous YouTuber of the world. There was no such thing as YouTube. She had no clue. Anyway, I don't know. I sometimes think, like, what would my mother make of all of this today? Because, you know, my mom passed in 2008. And I'm like, I wonder what my mom would think about all of this today. Anyway, I digress. Let's get into today's video. So, yesterday I made a video talking about many things. I talked about ABH Cosmetics, so you can go check that video out. And Taj Reed and what she had to say about her interactions with Norvina and ABH Cosmetics. I also talked about Cam Lester, the makeup artist, who had done a campaign with Jeffree Star and had had many interactions with Jeffree Star, and how he talked about how Jeffree Star helped build his platform and, you know, his interactions with James Charles. And he publicly is saying that he is distancing himself. He wants nothing more to do with Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and Shane Dawson. And then he went in on a 27-minute video on Instagram. It's still up. And he kind of explained those things. So anyway, I made a whole video about that yesterday. You guys can go check it out and watch it and see what you think. But after that, okay, some interesting things came out after that. So, you know, I was kind of watching the video. I was kind of like, you know, watching the comments after, you know, I made my video. And it was like, one person would say this, one person would say that. It was kind of like right down the middle as far as like what people thought. I was kind of surprised, honestly, because, you know, typically whenever you make a video, and this is just kind of a known fact, you know, like I feel like it is within the drama commentary community, that whenever you make a video specifically about Jeffree Star and him being called out about something, the Jeffree Star, like, super stans come and they're like, how dare you talk about him this way, blah, 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 whatever. But that really wasn't the case in the video. It's kind of very much split down the middle. It was a lot of people saying, like, kind of explaining away Jeffree's side, and the other half were like, you know, like, no, he's like not a good person. And then there were, you know, I would say like 20-30% in the middle that were kind of like, I'm kind of on the fence. I don't really know what to think at this point. So much is coming out, I don't know what to think. And I think that's kind of one of the things for me, is that when, you know, when you start hearing so many repetitive things about the same person, I'm not really sure how people can look away and say there's no truth to it whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, none whatsoever. And it's interesting because I am a believer that there are different standards for different people, especially on YouTube. You know, somebody's up here and somebody's down here. And, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who really doesn't know much about the beauty community. And she was asking me, you know, like, why do you think, like, Jeffree is held to a different standard than James Charles? Well, I do believe that James Charles has kind of always been looked at as kind of this, you know, this innocent young guy and whatever, and so he is held to a different standard than Jeffree Star. You know, I know Jeffree Star's come out many times and said, oh, people always see me as kind of the villain. Well, there's a lot of people that like the villain in the movie, you know, that they think that they're kind of like a bad ASS, you know, and Jeffree Star is somebody that comes out and it's like, listen, I can't be bothered with all of you. I do my thing. I make my makeup. I'm the richest person in the world. Don't worry about me. He comes out and says all these statements, right? So it's like, I think the people that like Jeffree like him for that, and they also like him for his makeup, but they like him for that attitude, that, you know, kind of like snarky attitude, and that's being mild, okay? So, you know, like, they're going to be quick to defend that, where other people in the beauty community are held to a much different standard. So before I get into this video at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, I wanted to read a comment that I got in my video yesterday. Because I had said in my video that there's so much behind the scenes that you guys don't know, and there's so many things that just, you know, there's conversations that are had. There are things that you guys have absolutely no clue that has occurred behind the scenes. And so somebody commented, and I said that yesterday in my video, and somebody said, okay, Peter, but I've heard you say there are so many things behind the scenes that you don't really know about your favorite YouTubers so many times. I am wondering why why won't you tell those things? And why are drama channels waiting for other influencers to do a tell-all? When they always seem to infer that they themselves could make tell-all videos with these behind the scenes. This is BS. Okay, so I actually think the comment is, it's an appropriate comment. I think it's, you know, it's a good question to ask. So here's the thing, okay? All of the things that I know behind the scenes are just hearsay. There are things that I very rarely, unless I've had a direct interaction with one of these major influencers, with the exception of recently reaching out to Tati and saying, hey, Tati, like, you know, I hope you're doing okay. And she reached back and said, like, thanks for the kind words, which was literally the interaction. So I haven't talked to these people, okay? It's been a really, really long time since I have had any kind of conversations with any of these influencers that we talk about on any of these drama channels, right? It's been a very, very long time since I've had interactions with them. And it's been a really, really long time since it's like sent me information that like was kind of already out, whatever, you know? And I have thought about making that video at some point, but like, I think a lot of it would be, who cares, you know? I think a lot of people would be like, this is so old, who cares at this point? So then the thing is that the people that need to make the video is the people that need to make the video are the people that have the direct information. They have the direct evidence that they can show you, okay? But then we have a problem, and let me explain this, right? So, you know, in the last 24 hours, Tab David, who was one of Jeffree Star's closest friends for 13 years, or a good friend of his for 13 years, I don't know, came out and he made a video, which then he took down. Sanders Kennedy had already done a video, a very good video, where he had like dissected the whole video that Tab David did. Tab David came out in his video and he made a lot of accusations. I'm going to link Sanders' video below. I'm not going to take away from him what he said. Sanders then also uploaded Tab David's video in its entirety because Tab had taken it down. I read through all the comments after like the new video had been up, because he put in the description box, Sanders said that Tab David allowed me to upload this video on his behalf or something like that. And so I was reading through the comments, and there were so many people that were like, why did he take down the video? Why is the video removed? People were speculating that it was Jeffree Star that had the video removed. And then one of the comments, somebody said something, and Sanders responded and said he took the video down because he was getting so much hate, okay? And this is the problem that I think people don't understand, right? That, like, I got so many comments from people saying, like, why are people trying to cancel Jeffree Star? I'm not a big believer in cancel culture. You follow, buy the products, put money in the pockets of those people you believe in, right? But we're at a point now that no matter what anybody says about Jeffree Star, it doesn't really matter because nobody will believe it. There are so many people out there that will literally defend him for, I mean, you could lay out literally a buffet of every like horrible thing in the world and they would still go, yes, but, okay? And you know, the problem with that is not Jeffree Star. The problem with that is that he is held to a different accountability than anybody else. And he knows that. And he knows that he can get away with that, you know? So anyway, the reason I have not personally made videos over here about what I know behind the scenes is because I don't know the truth and the level of it. I don't know like how true it is. It's just things I've heard through the grapevine. It's hearsay things that people tell me through the grapevine, you know what I mean? And so then what happened after Tab made his video, Sanders uploaded it over on his channel. You can go check it out. I will link both of Sanders' videos over here. Well, I'll just link the one video that he uploaded, and if you want to see the other video, you can go to his channel. It's there too. And in Sanders' video, you know, he talks a lot about, he dissects Tab's video. And in Tab's video, he came out and he made a lot of allegations towards Jeffree Star, language that Jeffree Star uses towards certain religious factions. And then he talks in there about like body shaming, skin shaming, and things. Somebody who allegedly is Trisha Paytas. Sanders goes through and shows all of the back and forth DMs with Trisha Paytas, and so there's a lot with Tab, so there's all of that over there, and then he goes in and he talks about some other things, and I'll just let you guys see the video. Then, Early this morning, fellow drama channel, and yes, dear friend of mine, Ashley Kyle, came out with a video, and her video was called, I Was on Jeffree Star's Payroll. Now listen, okay? That is not my truth to tell, okay? So this would be a prime example where I have known things that was somebody else's to tell, okay? I did not encourage her to make this video. I didn't tell her to make this video. I didn't tell her she should have to make this video, but I did tell her that I would support her in whatever choice she made, because that's what you do when somebody's your friend, okay? This has been driving Ashley crazy for literally months. Long before Jeffree Star ever unfollowed her, okay? Long before all of this. She was like, I don't feel right about receiving PR anymore. I don't feel right about all this kind of stuff. And you can go watch Ashley's video. She physically has been affected by the drama and the interactions that she has had with these beauty influencers, okay? So here's the deal, okay? Ashley throws up this video, and there are so many people in the comment sections that are, and she takes complete responsibility and says that she, you know, is integral because she had all this information before. Now, I will tell you that Ashley and I have had that conversation, okay? Because Ashley, in the video, she says that she had information before the Tati, the Bi Sister video came out and before tweets that Jeffree Star put out, okay? People are asking, I saw in the comment section, why this is an issue. Why is it an issue that, you know, Ashley knew this information before, okay? The issue is that she knew the information. Well, A, she could have stopped it. She could have said something to Tati. She could have said something to James Charles and said, hey, this is what's going to happen. Cam Lester said the same thing in his video, but she didn't, okay? So she feels horrible about that. Like, Ashley feels absolutely horrible about her part in all of that, okay? The other thing is that, and she's publicly apologized to James Charles in the past, and I think that he refollowed her and things like that. So, you know, the other thing is that she had all of this information before. And when we talked about it on the phone, I said, Ashley, like, do you see, like, what a problem this is? And she was like, yeah, it's like, blah, blah, blah. I said, no. I said, when I first found out that she knew about this information beforehand, I said, you knew tweets were going to go out. You knew that videos were going to go up. First of all, it implicates and shows that Jeffree Star did have knowledge of what was going on. And she shows that in her video, right? That he knew beforehand what was going to happen. Second of all, okay? So for all these people that are saying they think that Jeffree Star had a part in this or he didn't have a part in it, she also shows in there that Shane Dawson had a part on this and all this kind of stuff, right? Through text messages between her and Jeffree Star. So, you know, when I was having a conversation with Ashley like months ago, I said to Ashley, I said, do you realize what a big deal this is? Like, you made a ginormous amount of money, which she shows at the end of her video, okay? Off of your video going up first. Because, like, her video would go up, algorithm would hit it, because people would be searching for Bi Sister Tati video, and then her video would come up right away. Does that make sense? So she got hundreds of thousands, millions of views. So her having behind the scenes insider knowledge so that her video was ready to be posted when the information came out gave her an advantage on YouTube, right? It's kind of like if you have like a stock tip, it's the same thing, right? The other important thing to note in all of this in discussing Ashley's video is when you look and you see the conversation that she had with Jeffree Star, okay? And you think about the fact, and I've talked about PR enough over here, and I think people don't understand why I have such an issue with PR, and this is a prime example, okay? When you are reading this conversation, and Ashley is somebody that has received PR, okay? She's having personal conversations with somebody that she considers a celebrity, which she talks in there, okay? And they're talking to her, and they're asking her her opinion, and they're sending her information, and they're texting her, and things like that, and she's got their personal phone number, which she says in the video, right? It's a moment where she is made to feel very, very special, right? So it's taking somebody and making them feel special and using them to some degree to push the narrative in the direction that you want it to go. You don't even really have to say a whole lot, right? And she says in the video time and time again that she believed Jeffree because she considered Jeffree a friend, right? So he doesn't even have to say, make this video, do this, right? She's seeing all this stuff come out. She's talking to Jeffree as a friend would, and, you know, and she's saying like, oh, okay, this came out, and, you know, he says in there to some degree, I'm like enjoying seeing all of your reaction videos to this, you know? And it's like, here she is, she's made to feel special by this person that she looks up to and feel like she's a celebrity inside, and then that's taken to some degree and used, whether she is even aware of it at that point or not, okay? With the receiving of PR and the tweeting out, because they would tweet back and forth on Twitter and people would see that, right? And her talking about having personal interactions with him, on and on and on. It makes her feel special, right? So then she feels like you're doing the right thing. See, you're doing the right thing. indirectly what we're doing is we're pushing a narrative in a direction that we want it to be, okay? And that's why I've always had an issue with all of this. Like, and I've come out recently and said that. It's even deeper than that on a humanitarian level, because we're talking about somebody's life here. And this is where this has been driving Ashley crazy. And I can't speak to Cam or Tab because I don't know them personally, but I do know Ashley. This has literally been driving her crazy for months, okay? And I had a conversation with her this afternoon, and I said, how do you feel about it now? And she said, you know what? You know, because I told her, I said, this is your truth. You had to get out your truth, whatever it is. People are going to believe it or they're not going to believe it. And she said, well, I feel better because I got it out and I can move on now. I don't feel like I have to continue to be tied down to this over and over again. And I said, great, I'm glad that you feel that way. I'm glad that you feel, you know, freed from all of this. And so the thing is that when any of these people come out, like I was reading threads on, you know, Twitter, and then I was reading the comments on these videos and stuff, and there's so many people that will say, well, you're a liar, or why did you stand there and do it? So it's like everybody wants people to come out and tell their truth, but when they do come out and tell their truth, nobody believes them anyway. So you be thinking in your head, what's the point in coming out with my truth? Because nobody's going to believe me. Nobody's going to care. They're just going to explain it away, right? So anyway, I wanted to say that. Then I wanted to go in and I wanted to say, you know, that it was really interesting to me because Jeffree Star came out and he tweeted, and this was several days ago. This was on the 11th. So was that yesterday? This was yesterday. He said, some people visit my past more than I do. I don't live there anymore, baby. I sold the whole building, okay? And this is where Jeffree Star constantly, you know, is like, I'm a changed person. I'm not the same person that I was, blah, blah, blah. Well, these allegations that people are coming out and talking about, you know, Cam is talking about less than a year ago. Tab David is talking about less than a year, like a year and a half ago. Or this, I think maybe it was even this year, February. And I've been sent many, many pictures of Trisha Paytas, Jeffree Star, and Cam Lester in the Louis Vuitton store in Las Vegas. So they've proved that they were all there at the same time. And so anyway, what was I going to say? I mean, these are things that have just happened. And Ashley's interactions, you can see text messages from like a year ago. So these are things that are relevant to today. These are not things that happened, you know, in the past. I am somebody always, okay? And I say this in my videos a lot. I am somebody always that wants to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. I want somebody to prove me wrong, that they are a changed person, that they are a different person. But as a person that has made many, many mistakes in my life and had to do intensive inventory, okay, in counseling with my sponsor in recovery, and take a look at my actions and take a look at the person that I was and who I want to be going forward and why was I that way, right? That I have to take a look at all of that. It's not just something that you get in a video and you go, I'm a changed person, and everybody goes, yes, you're a changed person, you're a changed person because I love you so much and I idolize you, okay? What we are doing when we do that to people is we are taking away from them the ability to change. We are taking away the fact that they are going to one day be able to be a better person. Because if everybody excuses their behaviors away and they just go, well, I'm a changed person, and then you go, yes, you're changed, you've changed. People, it's all the haters, it's all the people that are jealous of you that say that you haven't changed. What we're doing when we do that, but then you continue to see the same things happen over and over again, is you're taking that away. You're taking that opportunity for growth, that opportunity away, a change away from that person. And if you really cared about these people, and if you really loved these people that you look up to, you stand and you idolize, then the reality is that you would want them to change for the better. Why would we not want everybody in our lives to continue to change and grow for the better? I want that for everybody. In my personal life and YouTube, everybody out there, for all of you out there, okay? Because my life has only become enriched when I have taken a look at who I was and who I want to be and what I need to do changing going forward. Will I continue to make mistakes? Absolutely. Will Jeffree Star continue to make mistakes? Absolutely. Will Cam Lester continue to make mistakes? Absolutely. Will Tati Westbrook continue to make mistakes? Absolutely. Will James Charles continue to make mistakes? Absolutely. Everybody will continue to make mistakes. It's what you do with those mistakes, okay? You know, one of the reasons why I always say that sorry doesn't mean a whole lot to me, and I realize today that people need to hear I'm sorry, is that when I was growing up and I would say I'm sorry for something, my dad would say, don't tell me you're sorry. He goes, you saying I'm sorry just means forget what I just did, okay? It's a piss poor excuse for not taking any responsibility for what you did, instead of getting on there and owning this, okay? You know, and so that's the thing to me. I'm not convinced that Jeffree Star is a changed person, not one bit, okay? And now, you know, I have wanted to give Shane the benefit of the doubt for quite some time, but now I'm sitting on the fence and I'm thinking, well, all of this is kind of adding up. It's making sense why he didn't put any of the drama into, except for at the very end when people forced him to, into the Shane and into the Jeffree series. You know, it's starting to make a lot of sense. You know, it's starting to make a lot of sense why we never saw the video of him and Tati that they supposedly filmed together. It's making a lot of sense, you know, and I'm starting to wonder, you know, and it makes me sad. And I think that's the thing that, you know, as those of us out here that are fans and we're watching all of this, it's like we don't, you know, like it's feet of clay. We don't want to see these people fall. We just don't, because we care about them and we love them. But do we look away as well, you know? So anyway, Jeffree Star said, some people visit my past more than I do. I don't live there anymore, baby. I sold the whole building. And then someone responded and said, and I'm just going to read these. They're kind of back and forth. People aren't trying to drag your past into things. They are trying to make you responsible for what you've said and done. I've been a hardcore fan of yours for years, but I am honestly so extremely disappointed. I know you don't care. I just want you to know. Someone said, bitter people don't understand that people can change and grow. You keep doing you, Jeffree, because you are on top. Someone said, for all the fans saying Jeffree didn't do anything, yeah, that's the problem. You guys seriously need to pay attention. And then goes on, talks about the Davi Vanity situation. Someone said, because people don't like when others are successful. That's just not true, okay? That is just not true. I love when people in my life are successful. I'm happy for people in my life when they're successful. Why would we? If people don't want people to be successful, then they need to take a look at their own selves, right? But you know, like, Jeffree Star brings up a lot of stuff of people's past for not living in the past. Remember when you tried to bring up something that never happened to James Charles' past? He said, or she said, someone said, Jeffree, we're not bringing it up because you're successful. We're bringing it up because you have patterns of behavior that to this day keep repeating. We're holding you accountable for them, and it just so happens you don't like that. Someone said, it's really sad. They're just really bored and trying to dig up old drama. I didn't have to work real hard to dig this up. I mean, I really didn't, okay? I'm literally sent every day pictures of Jeffree Star, okay? Things from Jeffree Star's past. Every day people send me this stuff, right? Y'all know where it is. It's all over in the Beauty Guru chatter. You can put in Jeffree Star on Twitter. You can go look for it yourself. It's all over there, okay? And this is where he just wants to go, it's just of my past. It's just of my past, right? You know, if things that were said in the Tab David video were true, I don't know. I don't know the person. I've never met him in my life. But, you know, he said some very problematic things in there about who Jeffree Star chooses to surround himself with. Those were kind of some of the things that were more problematic to me than anything else, you know? Okay, so somebody said, we visit your past because your behavior hasn't changed. You called someone, and then they go in and say all this stuff about James Charles. Hot damn, you hit the nail on the head here. Like, can we grow? Can we evolve, please? And thank you. Someone said, you're still accountable for your past actions, Jeffree. Someone else said, I don't understand why people always look at the past. We all make mistakes. Those mistakes made you into the person you are. Why can't they ever accept a person for who they are in the present? You've worked hard to become this person. And then this person responds and says, because the people who hate you, they're going to focus on the negative things that you did. Now, I have a question, okay, and I'm going to end on this one. She said, or he said, I don't understand why people always look at the past. We all make mistakes. Those mistakes made you into the person that you are. I absolutely 100% agree with that, okay? That the mistakes that we make in our lives, the things that we've done that we need to take accountability from and look at and grow are the things that make us into who we are today. But let me ask you this when we're talking about the mistakes make us who we are. If you have a person over here, okay, and they make one mistake after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, and the mistakes are consistent, and we can see a line of pattern between that, right? And every once in a while, they just say, hey, listen, I'm really sorry. I'm a changed person. I'm not the person I was. Hey, sorry, I'm a changed person. I'm not who I was. But the behaviors continue to happen. Okay? And then you have a person over here that's made similar mistakes. But at some point, they've said, I don't want to continue to make the same mistakes anymore, so I'm going to take accountability. I'm going to explain to you all how I've changed as a person. I'm going to explain to you how I learned those lessons and what happened to me as a result that made me want to be a different person, how I saw things differently in the world. What made me wake up to one day see that I don't see things the way that I saw them anymore, right? A person that makes mistakes over and over is not a changed person just because they made mistakes. It's not the mistakes that make them into who they are. It's the lessons that they learned from the mistakes that they made. If you ignore the lessons, you aren't going to become a better person as a result of that. So no, it's not the mistakes that make us who we are today. It's the lessons that we learn from the mistakes that we made. So I don't know, you know, like for me, it's like I've heard so much background noise on Jeffree Star behind the scenes from a plethora of people, you know? And I really believe at this point, it's gonna take somebody like Tati or James or somebody like that coming out and saying, listen, you guys don't really know what's going on. Or somebody from the past. And even then, I don't think it's really gonna matter. I don't think people are gonna care. And so really these videos that people are making, because, you know, they're getting called out as clout chasers, that all these people are clout chasers, right? Well, ask yourself this question, okay? Where is the clout here? You know, like, the clout is definitely with Jeffree Star. So if you were wanting the clout, wouldn't you hang on to his coattails and stick by his side? Like, that's common sense. Like, when I read that comment, that someone's like, you're just clout chasing, I'm like, you're clout chasing saying something negative towards one of the most powerful people in the world? Like, how is that going to be, what clout are you gaining from that? Just, that comment makes no sense to me, right? But, you know, like, I wonder what's going to happen down the road. You know, like, I don't know what's true and what's not. I honestly don't. Just like you guys. It's all just buzz noise and hearsay behind my back. I don't know. I don't know if Shane Dawson is part of all of this. I don't know. And so, like, many of you out there, I'm, like, in the middle, kind of just like, what is going on, you know? But I do think that when you hear enough people say something over, it's hard to look away. It's hard to sit there and go, wow, like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing after another. So anyway, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.